Hello everybody, I'm James Bailey from Natural Apiary, and today we're in Sheffield. It's a gorgeous sunny day, and what a better day than actually take a look inside the hive that we've been keeping over winter. Now, if you pan around our garden, you can see that our new garden is incredibly small, but it's still big enough to actually have an apiary, and there's probably enough room here to add another 1 or 2 hives. I know it's a far cry from the acre of land that we used to have in Norfolk, but it's still a good space. So today we're going to open up the hive, we're going to do an inspection, and we're going to look for queen cells, and we're going to look for disease, and we're going to make sure that there's enough space for the bees. Now, because we haven't really looked at this hive much since winter, I expect that we will probably need to put at least 1 or 2 supers on to give the bees a lot more room to grow. Right, so let's get started. So I'm just going to smoke the hive. This smells absolutely rich of honey. Looks like I've got plenty of room. I mean, the comb is drawn out, but it's not full of honey. So let's take the super off. So this looks like this is done as a super and a half brood. So I'm going to move the crown board at the end of this just down to the brood box. So we have honey and brood, so they're certainly laying in here. So the queen's been up to the top super. So I'm going to make sure there's no queen in the supers, and make sure she stays in the brood box. And we've got some drones. I don't think we've got any queen cells. This looks like a drone to me. So a mix of brood. There's no queen cells there. I certainly can't see the queen. There's some larvae in here too. And there's a little bee being born who's about to crawl out. How lovely. And one just coming out here. Just full of pollen and full of honey. Absolutely beautiful. You know, this looks like a good, strong, healthy hive. There's no disease, there's no mites. Just move this to one side. Move this onto here. Put the excluder back. And let's take a look inside the brood box. Okay, well I found the queen. She's here. Look at that. Strolling through. Beautiful queen. All of the foundation and the brood in this upper super is in great condition. There's no sign of disease in here whatsoever. The larvae looked healthy, and the eggs looked healthy. So let's put the super on top. Oops, and I've taken the crown board with it. Let's take the super, and over here I have an additional super that we took off last year, and it's full of honey. So I'm going to give the honey all back to the bees, so they've got something to feed on and make them strong. And put the crown board back on, and then the roof. And I have a large piece of slate. And in the end, we've ended up raising the beehive to try and keep it away from the damp, and we've leveled it. So we've checked that with a spirit level. We put a brand new brood box in, and this is slightly out of line. That's nice and sturdy. So a new brood box, we put a new floor in, we put a new brood box in, and we're going to replace those frames throughout the week. This super here is full of larvae and eggs and seems to be very strong and healthy. We know the queen is in the brood box because we saw her and we've kept her in there. We've got the original super which was beginning to fill up, and I've given them another super on the top which is full of honey to help them recover and build out this brood box. So we'll come back in a week's time and we'll see how they're doing.